I need to find my needle. I always lose my needles, so that's incredibly important to find it. Luckily, they're all dull, so I'm never going to step on them, but it's always a fear. Hi everyone, Mishu here, and today I wanted to show you how I do a loop start and a pin stitch finish for all my cross stitch projects. I find it to be super easy and less time consuming than running threads behind or trying to do double threads or making sure you don't lose tails and all that stuff. I find this to be one of the easier ways to do a project quickly and efficiently. So the way the loop start works is you basically are doing exactly this, right? So we're looping it in half with the amount of thread that we need. So for the projects I use, it's considered a double thread. So when we have a double thread and I'm gonna loop it, holy crap, split please. So if we're using a double thread stitch, then I need one thread here, right? Make sure it's uncurled a little bit because they get kind of funky. So then the loop method, you just simply loop it, right? So you have it circled around, you have an end here, and you have your two tails. So that's how you'd start the loop. Couldn't get that started. Okay, come on. All right, so we have our needle on here. So we've put the tails through the needle, and we have the loop hanging down on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop up from the bottom, right, like we're starting any other piece of thread. You circle back down, and then on the back side, see, we have our little loop hanging out. So we take our needle, bam, you put it through that loop, you catch it, and you pull all the way through. And that's how you do a loop start in Awesome and Awesome. See, I'm so excited about how awesome it is. It's completely tight, it's secure, you don't have to worry about snagging like your tail or anything. It's amazing. All right, so at this point, theoretically you'd be doing this as soon as you finished an area or you finished a thread. So there's two ways to do this, but basically what you were doing is inside, right, each square is made up of a bunch of different little threads, right, each direction. So basically what a pin stitch is we are popping up from the bottom and we're trying to hit the middle of a square, right in between the little threads. Ugh. Sometimes it's a little funky. Oh, there we go. Right? So we're popping up in the middle of the square in between all the threads. So then we pull it out, and then we're going to go back down the other way as well. Same thing, in the middle, in between the threads. Typically you want to go one thread over from where you're at, so you're not poking through the same hole again. I've done that many times, right? And there we go. And then if you did it perfectly, right, your little threads can cover it back up. Haha. It's like you never knew it was there. I like to do 2 pin stitches. Some people say you can do 1, and that's awesome. It works for them. But I'm a little OCD and I'm always worried about my stitches falling out. So I like to do this twice, and I'll do 1 over right there. See? And then it's nice and hidden. And then you usually want to do that within the space that's going to be covered up by other stitches, right? So I'm going to come in here with a different color and probably cover it later on. You don't want it outside the artwork because then obviously, like, sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. You just want to make sure they're completely covered moving forward. And another way to do it is within the stitch itself. Now, these ones over here are much more cleaner. Ones that are in blank stitches that have yet to be covered. But if needed, and say the whole area is covered, you can pop up from underneath the stitch itself. Now, this isn't always as clean, and sometimes you can snag that particular stitch, but you can kind of scoot it over a little and get your pin stitch in there, and that works out beautifully. See? Can't even see it. Probably could have done a little better on that one, to be honest. Let's try again. I usually look for some stitches that have a little more space in them. Ooh, yes, right there. So then when I come over with a different color that kisses up right next to it, you won't even be able to tell that that pin stitch is there. If you have any questions regarding the loop start method or the pin stitch, go ahead and ask down in the comments below or reach out to me on social media. I post a lot of my projects on Instagram, and I am also selling patterns and projects occasionally on Etsy. So go forth and create. I will see you guys all next time.